They were supposed to dominate, the youngest prodigy and the reigning world champion, England's dream team. But in one of the biggest shocks in darts history, Littler and Humphries are out, beaten, bounced by Germany. So, what the hell happened at the World Cup of Darts? England arrived at the 2025 Betvictor World Cup of Darts not just as defending champions, but as an entirely new headline act. With the tournament returning to Frankfurt's Eissporthalle, expectations were high, and this time all eyes were on the Luke boys, Luke Littler and Luke Humphries. On paper, it was a dream team. Littler, just 18, had stunned the sporting world over the past year, winning the World Youth Championship, reaching the final of the 2024 PDC World Championship, and then going one better to win it all just months later. He was a box office sensation. Nicknamed the Nuke, Littler brought swagger, scoring power, and a sky-high ceiling. His average in the World Championship final? A jaw-dropping 140.9 during key legs. Just days before Frankfurt, he'd been honoured with an MBE for his services to darts, cementing his status as a rising national icon. Then there was Luke Humphries, the current world number 1 and reigning world champion heading into 2025. He had completed a dominant stretch on the tour, winning the Grand Slam Players Championship finals and Premier League. His form was clinical, calm under pressure. If Littler was fire, Humphries was ice, and like his teammate, he too had just received royal recognition with an MBE. Together they formed what many considered the most dangerous pairing England had ever fielded. Thanks to their seeding, England didn't play in the group stages. They were one of the top 4 seeds to bypass early rounds and enter directly into the last 16. No warm-up matches, no time to gel, just straight into a high-stakes knockout. Their first opponents? The host nation, Germany. Represented by Martin Schindler and Ricardo Piquet-Scro, Germany was seen as dangerous underdogs. Schindler, ranked number 18 in the world, had built a reputation as a gritty, clutch performer. Piquet-Scro, ranked number 28, brought a creative edge. And most importantly, they had the German crowd behind them. A wall of noise inside the Eissporthalle. From the moment England walked on stage, they were booed and jeered. This wasn't a hero's welcome, it was a proving ground. And under the lights, with all the pressure on them, things didn't go as planned. The opening exchanges made one thing clear: this wasn't going to be easy for England. The crowd in Frankfurt was relentless, jeering every missed dart and erupting at every German score. And from the very first leg, the tension got to the Luke boys. Germany came out firing, with Schindler and Piquet-Scro finding their rhythm early, breaking the England throw and jumping out to a quick 2-0 lead. England looked stunned. Littler stepped up with a brilliant 123 checkout to stop the bleeding, and Humphries followed with a composed 64 finish to level the match 2-2. It looked like the tide was about to turn, until the 5th leg unravelled everything. With the match finally poised, England have 5 darts to take the lead, 5 darts to quiet the crowd, and they missed them all. Piquet-Scro didn't blink. He stepped up and nailed a stunning 106 checkout to steal the leg. That single moment flipped the script. The German crowd exploded. The energy inside the Eissporthalle became deafening, and England, who had been riding the wave of their own hype, suddenly looked uncertain. The 6th leg followed the same script. Littler missed 3 more darts at a double. Germany didn't hesitate. Another break of throw. Suddenly it was 4-2. England's body language changed. Humphries, normally cool and composed, looked rattled. Littler, usually full of fire, went quiet. Germany smelled blood, and they pounced. They held throw comfortably to go 5-2 up, heading into the mid-match interval with all the momentum and the crowd behind them. Coming out of the break, it got worse. Germany stormed the next 2 legs with clinical finishing and consistent scoring. A 6-dart sequence from Piquet-Scro that included a 180 and a 106 finish left Littler shaking his head. At 7-2 down, England was staring elimination in the face. To their credit, they didn't give up. Littler landed a pair of maximums, and Humphries finally found a double to claw one back. Then another. 7-4. Was the comeback on? For a moment, the arena held its breath, but that was as far as it would go. In the 12th leg, Piquet-Scro stepped up again, this time taking out 62 with nerveless precision. Game, set, match. Germany 8, England 4. The numbers only told part of the story, but they were damning. Germany averaged 93.70 across the match, solid but not unbeatable. England, meanwhile, posted 92.29, dragged down by missed doubles and inconsistent scoring. Their finishing rate? Just 36%, 4 hits from 11 attempts. Germany, in contrast, were efficient, hitting their checkouts under pressure and managing the match tempo to perfection. But the real story was in the momentum swings, the missed chances that never came back. The match felt like a slow-motion collapse. Each missed double chipped away at England's confidence. Each German checkout fueled the crowd, and by the time the final dart hit the board, the favourites looked like a team that never really showed up. After the final dart landed and the German team celebrated, the mood on the England bench told the full story. Littler looked frozen, eyes locked on the board, still processing the collapse. Humphries, usually composed and confident, went through the motions, handshakes, a forced nod, but the disbelief was written all over his face. This wasn't just an early exit, it was a public unravelling of a team that was supposed to dominate. In post-match interviews, Humphries took accountability. He acknowledged that Germany simply outplayed them and admitted England hadn't performed when it counted. Littler, usually more expressive in the media, was noticeably subdued. He admitted the team had their chances, particularly with the missed doubles, and said the crowd atmosphere was difficult, though he stopped short of using it as an excuse. Both players seemed stunned, less angry and more disappointed. They knew this wasn't just about losing, it was about how they lost. Behind the scenes, England's coaching staff didn't hide their frustration. The consensus was clear. With two of the world's top players, expectations were sky high, and the performance didn't match. Analysts across darts media echoed that sentiment. While many praised Germany's composure under pressure, most focused on England's lack of connection. On stage, the chemistry wasn't there. The body language was flat, the energy was off, and when the pressure hit, there was no spark between them to ignite a fight back. It was a quiet defeat, but the kind that lingers. So why did it all fall apart for Littler and Humphries? On paper, they were the ultimate power duo, both world champions, both in top form, both fresh off career-defining seasons. But as the match played out, it became clear that individual brilliance doesn't always translate into team synergy. One major theory circulating among analysts and fans alike is a simple one. Styles make fights, and this pairing didn't just fit. Littler is a high adrenaline player, flashy, instinctual, capable of outrageous bursts of brilliance. Humphries, by contrast, is methodical and rhythmic, a player who thrives on calm consistency. When the match tipped into chaos, neither seemed to find a common pace. They weren't lifting each other, they were playing two solo games on the same stage. There's also the question of preparation. Unlike Germany, who had already completed and won their group stage, England came in cold. No warm-up match, no chance to work out nerves or build stage momentum. That lack of rhythm showed early, especially with the missed doubles and awkward body language. They looked like two champions trying to figure each other out mid-game, and by the time they did, it was too late. Psychologically, the pressure was immense. Littler, though already a global star, is still only 18. This was his first time carrying a national team on his back, and Humphries, as the world number one, had everything to lose. The expectations weren't just high, they were historic. Both had received MBEs just days earlier. The media buzz, the national spotlight, the Dream Team branding, it all created a pressure cooker that exploded when the match got tight. In the end, the loss wasn't about talent, it was about timing, synergy, and momentum. All things that, in team darts, can matter more than averages or accolades. So where does England go from here? This loss wasn't just an upset, it was a wake-up call. The Littler-Humphries pairing was bold, exciting, and headline-worthy, but it exposed a fundamental truth in the World Cup of darts. Team chemistry matters. This tournament isn't about who has the highest averages, it's about who can sync up under pressure, support each other mid-match, and adapt when things go sideways. And on that front, England fell short. It's not hard to look back at last year's team, Michael Smith and Rob Cross. They weren't as flashy on paper, but they were stable, experienced, and unified. They knew their roles, they played off each other, and they delivered England its first World Cup title since 2016. With both Smith and Cross still active, the conversation around England's future pairings is wide open. Do you stick with the raw power of Littler and Humphries and give them time to gel, or do you bring back the veterans who've already proven they can win together? One thing's certain, this tournament has changed the narrative. What was once seen as the beginning of a golden era now feels like a question mark. Littler and Humphries will no doubt continue to dominate individually. They're too good not to. But as a team, that's no longer a guaranteed formula. Fans are already debating online, coaches will be having tough conversations behind closed doors, and come next year, the pressure won't just be on England to win, it'll be on the selectors to make the right call. This wasn't just a loss, it was a fork in the road, and the next move England makes might define the next era of international darts. So, what do you think? Should England stick with the Luke boys and give them time to grow, or go back to the chemistry that won them a title? Let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed the breakdown, hit that like button, subscribe for more darts drama, and we'll see you at the Oki.